Your favorite music artist is a terrible person. From just being an asshole to full-fledged serial killers committing some of the worst crimes you could ever imagine, let's talk about some rappers who are terrible people. I think a lot of people at this point can realize that Carti drops a ton of heat, but he is just not a good person at all. And that pretty much goes for his entire label as well. The allegations they all have actually need to be studied. One of the most famous Carti incidents is when he ditched his son's birth. Instead of seeing his son Onyx, Gilbert, whatever you want to call him, Carti chose to stay home and play PS4 with Lil Uzi. Here's what Iggy Azalea, Carti's baby mama, had to say about the whole entire situation.
Was pregnant. This man didn't even come to see his son be born. He went to Philly to play the PlayStation with Lil Uzi.
Iggy's gone on so many long rants about Carti as a father, calling him a deadbeat, a narcissist, and more, which makes sense because he ditched his kid's birth to play COD with Lil Uzi. Carti has tried improving this image, but every time he tries, Iggy kind of grabs him and says no, 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 and basically does this. But Carti skipping Gilbert's birth is not nearly as close to the worst things that he has ever done. And no, it's not lying about his album 10 times. Fans have known for a while that Carti has assaulted many of his past relationship partners. One of the first of those being OnlyFans hoe Z-List collaborator Ruby Rose. Carti allegedly shot at her during an argument after she hid his phone before Carti was set to leave for a flight. Along with this, Ruby Rose also said that for fun, Carti would just shoot his gun off of her balcony, and the excuse for this was that it's Atlanta.
It's Atlanta.
Literally for no reason, just because they lived in the hood. But if you thought that was the worst, you're wrong, because this isn't even close to the worst of what Carti's done. The most recent and probably worst thing that Carti has done by far is the assault of his pregnant girlfriend. Terrible story which turned into this iconic mugshot has had a pretty crazy backstory behind it. Carti's secret second baby mama was pregnant, and Carti wanted to do a paternity test to see if he was really the father of who we know today as his newborn daughter, Eve. An argument started over the test, and Carti ended up choking out his girlfriend, and she went telling the cops that she thought she was almost going to die. She then ran to her car where Carti attacked her again, trying to cover her mouth and drag her from getting away. So yeah, pretty bad. Others in Opium have a ton of allegations, from more assault all the way to being a predator, but if I went way deeper into that, this whole video would just be them. And if you thought this was bad, wait until you hear the rest of what some of these rappers have done. Kodak Black has been charged with kidnapping, assault, robbery, and more. Kodak has had a pretty long life of crime. I swear, bro has been in jail longer than he's seen the light with what he's doing. That's how much terrible shit that Kodak has done. His life of crime started in October 2015, where he was charged with kidnapping, where he trapped a bunch of people in his car after thinking that they robbed his house. But this is not even close to the worst thing that Kodak has done. A lot of the terrible shit that Kodak has done has actually been swept under the rug, and a lot of people really don't even know about it. One of the worst things he's done was in 2016, where he caught a sexual battery charge after bringing a girl back after his show at a nightclub. Kodak allegedly ripped the women's clothes off, bit her, and R-worded her. Scary stuff considering Kodak pretty much got off scot-free besides some small charges. And what makes this even worse is after Kodak paid off his bond, he dressed up as a prisoner before a show, poking fun at the entire situation. Kodak has also been arrested on other charges, including child neglect, after people reported that he was surrounding his kids with drugs and guns after everyone saw it on an Instagram live. Once again, Kodak got off with pretty much no repercussions, getting these charges dropped. Bro's lawyer is Saul, you can't make this up. Kodak has a ton of charges I didn't talk about in this video, but a lot of them are drug related, and in most of them, he's not really hurting anyone but himself, except obviously when he acts out around other people, but the charges before are just absolutely disgusting and a lot worse, so I thought I'd highlight those instead. Now we're at that point in the video. Everybody knew it was coming. P. Diddy the diddler, giving people at the Diddy party the Diddy sauce. From kidnapping all the way to human trafficking and more, Diddy has some crazy allegations, so let's dig into every single one of them. And subscribe or he might take you to the Diddy party. So Diddy obviously has a ton of allegations leading back to years and years ago, but one of the worst and most prominent ones that started it all off was his ex-girlfriend Cassie, who was suing him for physical and sexual abuse. He allegedly R-worded her, beat her in her words with uncontrollable rage, and made her perform sex acts called freak-offs with other dudes while he watched as well. Diddy was a cuck, that's crazy. There was also video evidence of Diddy dragging Cassie around a hotel where it honestly looks like she's trying to escape his hotel room. Diddy also has a ton of other allegations, one of them being him sleeping with a 17-year-old while being 34 years old. And these are just the confirmed cases that exist and are currently being investigated. And I didn't even go into things like the Diddy party and all the freaky shit that probably went on there. Scary stuff what these elites can do when no one is looking. There's just not enough information to talk about that, so maybe in a future video when more comes out. But just like the others, Diddy is currently getting away with absolutely everything. He can't even be charged for the video of him dragging his girlfriend around because of laws saying that it happened too long ago. And it just shows how messed up the system could be to help these evil people.
Oh, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Cardi B has done a lot of bad things. She has fought and hurt a lot of people. She's even hurt her own fans, throwing a mic at full force at one of them during a show after they pissed her off. She was also recently seen pleading guilty to a case where she thought that someone was having an affair with her husband Offset, and proceeded to punch the girl, pull her hair, and slam her head into the bar. Then after that, 2 weeks later, Cardi B came back. She wasn't finished, throwing alcohol bottles at the same girl, continuing to assault her. But nothing compares to her admitting on Instagram Live that before she got famous, she worked as a stripper and consistently drugged and robbed men. This is something I always see come up when it comes to Cardi B and her doing bad things, and it's crazy how she's pretty much faced no repercussions for this besides getting heat on social media. She has since commented on it, calling it a poor decision, saying it was what she had to do at the time, which there's never an excuse for that. But honestly, it makes her a little bit of a bigger person than most other rappers who would just brag about their crimes and the bad things that they have done. And someone who does just that is the next artist covered in this video. I ain't even gonna lie, I don't even got a sound effect for this dude, bro. He was such a menace it can't even be described. Easily one of the worst people on this entire list, and probably one of the worst in all of rap itself, maybe the human race, King Von. Alright, I'm rewatching this while I'm editing it. Maybe human race was a bit of a stretch, but you guys get the point. King Von met his demise in November of 2020, but this was only after his 10 bodies that he caught in Chicago. King Von is easily one of the most evil people in all of rap. This man has had so many bodies, he was actually considered a serial killer by the FBI. To be considered a serial killer, you need to kill 3 or more people on separate occasions, and he's passing that threshold with flying colors. King Von had a very long life of gang violence, being from O Block in Chicago. He grew up around it, but it gets way worse when you find out that he was doing all this because he had a genuine love for it. Laughing about a girl he killed in documentaries, even after he got famous, he had all of that rap money. Von still went out of his way to be involved in this gang life, even trying to rob Lil Durk when first meeting him and his friends when Lil Durk was trying to sign him. If that doesn't say fucked up, I don't know what does. I mean, just listen to what other people who knew him had to say about him after he died.
Even got a mural on the wall.
King Von.
And he's a serial killer. The FBI have already classified him as a serial killer because he done killed so many people.
Bruh, he was dead, bruh. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
He was manic. He was, you know what I'm saying? Shorty was crazy. He was on that. He was, you know what I'm saying? So
He was in a documentary laughing. You know how sick you gotta be to knowing you killed this girl?
When I heard that Von got killed, I was relieved for the community, man. Cause he was over there torturing them guys, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
But I was happy as hell when I found out Von was dead. Nigga, I cooked for the whole day.
something was wrong with him. That's not human, man. You're not regular, man. Nigga was the devil, man. That nigga was the devil, man.
Von was different. Like, when shit happened to Von. Ain't nothing happening to Von. I done been shot twice. A lot of our guys done been shot. Everybody, ain't shit happening to Von.
Hey, look, some people need to be gone, bro.
The fact that people are describing him this way sounds like they were genuinely scared of this man, which honestly makes sense considering all the things he's done. He wrote many lines bragging and gloating about all the different killings he was a part of in his songs, and a lot of rappers do this, but it's a lot scarier knowing that he's actually done these things and it's not just straight cap rap. It just shows you he also didn't care about anyone but himself and harming others in the process, killing people, beating people, having zero remorse, and probably a lot more that we don't even know about. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you want a part 2. Watch the video on the screen now, and on that note,